Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, number one, we have been waiting for some major listings for Hbar for a while, and we finally got one. We're going to be talking about it, and a few issues have rose up. We are going to be talking about those. And when we talk about Hbar right now, you can definitely see it on my screen. I'm recording this at about like almost 6 a.m. We do see the volume is up about 541%. We do see that the price is not really changing too much. I mean, earlier we did kind of jump out from about like 6 cents almost to almost 8 cents. Nothing too crazy. I mean, remember, we still are in a bear market, but having Hbar on any exchange, any tier one exchange like Coinbase, helps a lot. And I don't know why this is taking forever to load, but there we have it. So it is already on some major exchanges, but you do see most of the volume on Hbar is coming from Binance. I think that the number one is Upbit. Yeah, we have been talking about Upbit for a little bit in regards to like an exchange that has provided a lot of value to some tokens. I don't really talk about them much anymore, but early on in regards to like Hbar, we did talk about them because they still are a very large exchange. And again, all these exchanges do matter. Like I always say, although some of these exchanges are like ones that people don't really know about, they do have a substantial amount of individuals that do, utilize their exchange on a day-to-day basis. So having that exposure helps 100%. But when we look at Hbar and we look at the exchange listing on Coinbase, that was substantial, right? But the issue with this is we've seen some problems, arise. We're going to be talking about them, but just know that it got delayed. We do see over here Coinbase will add support for Hedera and Hbar on the Hedera network. Do not send the asset over other networks or your funds may be lost. Inbound transfers for this asset are available on Coinbase and Coinbase Exchange in the regions where trading is supported. Trading will begin on or after 9 a.m. PT on September 13th, which was, of course, today. And we do see if liquidity conditions are met. Once sufficient supply of this asset is established, trading on our Hbar USD and Hbar USDT trading pairs will launch in phases. Support for Hbar may be restricted in some supported jurisdictions. Now, we got this update just recently. And it says, update, in order to have full confidence in a successful launch of Hbar, we have made the decision to delay the launch of trading. We have temporarily disabled new deposit address generation. Do not attempt to deposit Hbar until further notice. We will provide an updated timeline for re-enabling deposits and enabling trading as it becomes available. Updates will be posted here and on our status page at status.exchange.coinbase.com. Thank you for your patience. Now, a lot of people were wondering why. A lot of people were making jokes saying, Hbar or Coinbase is basically like rugging people. They're saying, Coinbase is doing insider trading again, blah, 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 all this nonsense. But this is the real reason. So we do see over here from the Hbar Foundation, they are clarifying. This is specific to the Coinbase integration. We appreciate all the work the team is putting into this to ensure as seamless as UX as possible for the Hbar community. And we do see down here, as we know, Hedera uses a simple account ID structure to represent Hbar accounts. Upon deposit open, we noticed Coinbase was instead using the public key. Based on feedback, they're working to adopt the new standard account format, hence the delay. And I mean, hey, it is what it is. To me personally, I know that at the end of the day, this is a little bit, rough. But hey, we got to go through things like this to, get to the end goal. The end goal is, of course, where can Hbar go into the next major cycle? We will talk about that in the end of this video. So let's dive into a few things and let's talk about a few things from this announcement. So obviously from the Coinbase announcement, we did see a massive social dominance engagement as well as contributor gain. We did see over here from Lunar Crush, keep an eye on coins with incredible social activity. Hedera Hashgraph Hbar social engagements measured daily hit 37.88 million, the highest point in the last 90 days. We do see price up 13.63% today. Now, since then, yes, we have fallen a little bit because of the recent Coinbase announcement like this. This was about 9 hours ago. You can kind of go back on the chart 9 hours ago, and you can kind of see it. For an example, I mean, like, let's be honest. If you see something like this, if you see an announcement like that, it's going to be rough. It's going to stop everything. And, what kind of luck, for Hedera then, having an update like this that we've been waiting forever to, really kind of see, and it kind of gets shattered. So, hey, it is what it is. We got to, just push through it. But over here from the Hbar Foundation as well, in regards to some good news, we did see, y'all heard of Kevin O'Leary. Well, the shark himself has heard about Hedera and Hbar, naming the network as a major Ethereum competitor. Now, listen, it does not take a rocket scientist or a billionaire to know that Hedera is years ahead of Ethereum. There's a lot of tokens in the space that do provide incredible value compared to Ethereum, but I love to see, Hedera getting named here, and we do see Kevin O'Leary names 2 Ethereum rivals that he believes could challenge Ethereum's dominance. And hey, if that's the case, I mean, I'm just going to say it right now. You go and look at the cryptocurrency market, you see that almost 20% dominance on Ethereum. You look at that, $210 billion market cap, and all I see is dollar signs when I'm looking at Hbar. But hey, is it guaranteed? Not necessarily, but I do think that, Hedera, comparing it to Ethereum, it's a night and day difference. And we do see down here, Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary says the shortcomings of Ethereum ETH, leave the smart contract platform exposed to competition. I completely agree. And we do see down here, he does mention 2, Hedera Hashgraph, Hbar, and Solana. And we know that Solana has its issues. I do believe that Hbar is ahead of Solana as well. Big difference here is tokenomics. I mean, like, if you go and look at the tokenomics of Solana, you're looking at 353 million. I would say that this is probably one of the most probable tokens to actually, rival Ethereum's dominance. I know that that's going to be crazy in an Hbar video. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of haters down in the comments. But hey, again, tokenomics do matter. I'm just going to say it right now. When we look at, Hbar, the token supply since last September in 1 year has increased 200%. This is not good. This is why I do kind of factor in tokenomics around price action a lot more. Because, again, at the end of the day, we don't know where the token supply is going to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years, because they haven't really been following the token distribution, which is a big problem right now. But yeah, I mean, like, when we really kind of look at these, these are 2 projects that I personally have been watching for. I have been looking at Solana. I know that that sounds crazy to some people, but hey, money's money. I'm going to make money where I can in this market. And we do see down here, like, I also think that there are other applications from Hbar, Solana, Polygon, all kinds of different items or ideas, in terms of how this should happen and how financial services work and the cost, the speed, the fees, transparency, auditability, security, as well as all of these things. And, I tell people, look, if you want exposure, have at least 7 or 8 positions on these projects because you just don't know. Exactly. You don't know. Like, I've always said this. Like, I believe that Hbar will be huge. But do I know for certain? No, I don't. I'm making a big bet. At the end of the day, like, I mean, listen. There's no reason to go all in on just one token. Like, we do see down here, like, you could do it by order of market capitalization, and that's easy to find out, but that doesn't mean you're right on doing that either. And what people tell you, I know with certainty this is really going to work, they have no idea. At the end of the day, if it, never makes any money, it's going to zero like every other business, and, many will go to zero. I completely agree. I mean, like, when we really kind of look at this market, I mean, I could scroll through the top 100 and probably pick out 10, 20, maybe 30 projects that are complete trash, and that's in the top 100. Again, a lot of projects within this in this space do lack a lot of issues. A lot of them are just not bringing in money. And Hbar, the problem with Hbar is the team utilizes Hbar for a lot of their revenue generating factors. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. But it does need a lot more usability on the mainnet. We need a lot more TPS demanding use cases. Do I think that we will get there? Sure, I do. The problem is how long until that actually happens. I'm not doubting Hbar. I'm not doubting Hedera either. I think that going into the next cycle, it's going to be huge. But how huge, right? So let's look at this. So first off, I want to share with you guys this announcement. This is from Carmel Cadet, which is, again, the founder and CEO at MTech. We do see pretty excited about this. See you soon, HBAR Foundation, Swirls Labs, and Hedera. And we do see down here, this is the Africa Money DeFi Summit West Africa edition, the 27th to the 28th of September. I think that this is going to be great. They are going to be talking about Web3 DeFi and the crypto ecosystem. And I would argue that, Africa is working closely with Hedera at this point. And, the funny thing about this is that ADA did a monstrous move. Like, I'm not even going to undermine ADA at all. Like, it did great. I think that marketability wise, like, it got, shilled the hardest on YouTube. I mean, like, everywhere you turn, there was an ADA video popping up saying, like, ADA is going to go here, ADA is going to go there. And did it do a very nice move? 100%. I mean, like, this thing did shoot up to almost $3, I think. Over here, it went to like $3.10. So yeah, $3.10. Now the market cap at $3.10 is substantial because again, remember, some tokens did get released since that time. And what would the market cap be? Well, the market cap would be about $104.8 billion. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, ADA was one that was getting shilled off of speculation alone that, ADA or Cardano was going after the African market. They were going to, corner it. They were going to, bank all of their citizens, etc., like whatever. But that was just not the case. There was no backing to it. Now, I'm not coming for ADA. I'm not saying that Cardano is garbage or whatever. I'm just saying we have clear insights on what Hedera is doing, where they're positioned. Going into the next cycle, I would argue that, like, if HBAR doesn't hit $3, all of this time, all of this effort, all of the money that I invested into HBAR, into the next cycle would be disappointing. I'm just gonna say it like that. Not because, I care about, the price per HBAR, but just because, like, I feel like if they are not at that, moment in time to hit $100 billion into the next cycle, which we will have a lot more money pouring into crypto, then I feel like they failed on their mission as, becoming like that, the main winner around the layer 1 area. Again, they have been marketing. They have been killing things in regards to marketing. The growth on the ecosystem has been increasing rapidly. To me, I would say that like $100 billion is expected in the next major cycle. And is it just me? I just want to ask you guys, like, where do you see HBAR going into the next cycle? I would argue that the $3 to $6 range is more probable going into the next cycle than it was in 2021. Okay, the 50-cent jump on HBAR was disappointing. To be completely honest with you, I was expecting a lot more. But again, we weren't expecting to see a ton of tokens being released, which did, cause a lot of issues. And then on top of that, there was no live use cases, that went live. We didn't really see a lot of bullish news around HBAR during September, which is when we did hit 50 cents. I mean, we did see like the ServiceNow announcement. We did see a few other announcements around that time as well. But for the most part, it was kind of disappointing to be a holder of HBAR. And, is it still now? It's hard to say, right? Because we haven't really seen, too much yet. We are still in a bear market. We have to wait to see, what kind of morphs into reality going into the next cycle. By the way, just so that you guys know, I have 35 billion HBAR supply down here. That's because I'm going off of the 35 billion supply, just because I'm kind of taking into accountability how much supply could very well be released by that time. If we do have a $104.8 billion market cap and we're at like 25 billion, which I think is like a little bit over what we are at now, this would be about a $4.20 HBAR. This would be an upside of like 60x. And I think like right now we're at about like 23 billion tokens. That would still be about a 65x, about almost $5, which is why I said like the $3 to $6 range is pretty realistic around HBAR, especially if we are going to be seeing a lot more marketability, a lot more exposure, like, the article with Kevin O'Leary. Listen, I'm taking a big bet on HBAR going into the next major cycle as well, because, I think that the price action was a little bit disappointing. But remember, you go and look back on, ADA. ADA did hit about $1 back here in 2018, but it did also have this long-term period of where, like, it wasn't kind of moving. It wasn't doing that well. I mean, during this time, like DeFi summer, a lot of tokens were going off. Here's like 2020 into 2021. A lot of tokens did do incredible moves during this time, and ADA was definitely one that wasn't shy during this time either. But it did make like a lot of noise. Remember, like I said, there was not a place that you could go on social media where ADA was not being shilled. That's why I say, like, marketing, everything that goes hand in hand with like what creates a successful token in regards to like price action, ADA had it. ADA was the big one. I think that this is going to change going into the next major cycle. I do believe that HBAR will surprise a lot of people. I think that will shock a lot of individuals as well. Tokenomic wise, ADA comparing it to HBAR, very similar tokenomics. It's just the fact that like HBAR has, or like Hedera has been releasing a ton of tokens recently, which does stifle, price action greatly. And again, like during that time where we were running up to 50 cents, we did see a lot of tokens get released, which was a big issue. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and turn the scroll down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, it's been Nick. Peace out, guys.